In today's video, we're going to be talking about a step-by-step guide of how to make it in trading. And in my case, I'm not the most profitable trader, but finally after 3.5 years, I found consistency. And this is the step-by-step guide on how I was able to get to this point. So first, and most important, get a job. Literally, I know most of you guys watching this video are going to disagree with this, but in my opinion, the most important thing or the most important way of starting in trading is finding a job. It doesn't need to be a full-time job, but at least a part-time job. And the main reason why to get a job is because with the income you're going to get from the job, you're going to be able to pay your expenses, your monthly fixed expenses. So let's say, for example, in my case, I live in Vancouver, so I need to pay rent, I need to pay groceries, I need to pay public transport and other things, right? And by having a part-time job, because I'm currently a full-time student, so I can't work full-time, but by having a part-time job, I'm able to pay this fixed expenses every single month, which makes me way more comfortable by trading. And by doing that, I was able to invest in better education, invest in better courses, in better mentors, invest in good books, invest in TradingView, in Forex Replay, and other things that literally take my trading to the next level. But if I hadn't, if I was literally working, my money would have been so tight that I wouldn't been able to also invest in Profirm challenges and trade them aggressively to pass them quickly, or I wouldn't been able to invest in good mentorships and invest in the mentors that took me the trading to the next level. So first of all, find a good job. It doesn't need to be a 30, 40, 50 dollars per hour job. You just need something that you can literally work and on the side do trading, right? So it's just something that will make you a little bit money to help you pay your fixed expenses and be more comfortable in the markets. So then after you have a full-time or part-time job, then we can start focusing on trading. Because now we have the resources to invest in our business, and now we can start moving on with what really is going to make us good traders. So then it's time to find a good mentor. That's step 2. And whenever I said a good mentor, in my opinion and based on my experience, usually, and what I recommend is find a mentor that doesn't show his or her cars, like the luxurious lifestyle and the ones that are usually low profile. Because what I've realized and what I've learned in this last couple of years is that the ones that show the most are the ones that know the least. And I mean this specifically on trading. I've literally known a lot of traders that consistently show their cars, and the main idea why they do it is because they're trying to sell you a course. And usually most of their money and how they are actually affording those specific luxury items is by selling courses and not by making money trading, rather than the traders that are keeping their profile low. They're investing their money into BOO, BGT, QQQ, literally investing long-term, compounding their money, and just keeping their profile low, living below their means, are the ones that are making real money, and those are the mentors you should pursue and you should buy their courses. I know a couple of those trading, kind of trading mentors that they don't show their money, they don't show whatever they make, and they're really, really good. And actually, one of my mentors is exactly that way, exactly like that. And that's what I learned, and that's why I recommend to just pursue and look for someone that is really making money and it's not showing off their money and whatever they're making, because they know they're profitable and they don't need to show it to the world to feel and have approval from others. Before moving on with the third step, we'll know how important Profirms are for us traders. And actually, I'm going to speak about Profirms later on this video. So that's why this is the perfect time to introduce you to today's sponsor, which is Blueberry Funded. And honestly, I'm extremely happy about this collab because you guys know I never recommend anything unless I really like it and also I'm using it. In this case, I've been using this Profirm for over 2 weeks now, and also I really like it because it's a broker backed firm, which makes it extremely secure compared to any other firms out there. And it's not backed by any random broker out there. It's actually backed by one of the biggest brokers out there, which is Blueberry Markets. Also, if we see, for example, it's newly listed in Profirm Match, it has a 4-star rating on Trustpilot, and also if we check the trading rules, everything is extremely transparent, which of course makes it way more secure, and it gives me more confidence and I'm more happy, of course, to share it with you guys. And Currently, I have a 100K challenge with them. I'm very happy. This execution is excellent and I don't have anything bad about it. And also I have a very good surprise for you guys in case you're interested in getting any challenge from them. Say, for example, you want to get a 200K challenge with MT4 and a 2-step. If you use my code, which is Rosal Trading, let's type it in here, you'll basically get a 20% off, not only in this challenge, but in any challenge you guys want to use or want to get. So let's say, for example, let's do another example. If you guys want to get a 50K challenge, the coupon code is also going to work. And as I said, you're going to get 20% off by using this code with any single challenge you guys want. So that's basically a good surprise for every single one of you who's interested in investing in this prop firm. And let me know how it goes, guys. Third, whenever you find a good mentor, it's time for you to focus on a simple strategy. So this comes into place like they're all together. So finding a mentor and finding a strategy. So you need to find a simple strategy and a mentor that teaches that strategy. Why a simple strategy? Because trading doesn't need to be complicated. In my case, this is going to be, of course, there's maybe a lot of listeners that will go against me and like literally contradict and not be like, don't agree with me. I was trying to look for that word so hard, but literally there's going to be people that is not going to agree with me with what I'm going to say now. But avoid ICT, guys. That's too much complication. That's overcomplicating trading, and trading doesn't need to be complicated. But if you guys want to look for ICT, then go ahead, but try to find a mentor that teaches it in a simple way and keeps things simple. The less you know, sometimes the better you're gonna perform. And that's why I personally think, and I'm a huge believer, that the simpler the strategy, the easier to consistently replicate that strategy over time, which will equally relate to and is basically correlated to having better results in the long term. So try to find a simple strategy and a mentor that it's not showing off his money, that teaches that strategy in a very simple way. Then it's time to do the work. Now, after you know the strategy, you learn the strategy, it's time to practice. It's not enough with just watching a couple of videos and then going immediately to the charts and trade live. No, it's time for you to put the work. And how you put the work? By backtesting. So it's time to go into Forex Replay. That's the platform I personally use. You're going to go to Forex Replay and you're going to start backtesting. In my case, I trade the 4-hour time frame, so I can literally manage around 28 to 30 pairs. So what I do is I take every single pair. So let's say, for example, I'm going to backtest Euro USD. So I take Euro USD, I create a session on Forex Replay, and I, for example, backtest Euro USD on 2020. So I go back in time, I check 2020, and I start taking the trades. Every single setup I see, literally every single setup I see that meets my plan and my rules, I take it. And after taking it, I journal it on my trading journal. If you guys need a trading journal, you can find it in the link down below of this video, or you can literally get whatever trading journal you want, or even make one yourself. But it's really important for you guys to take the trade, and whenever you take the trade, doesn't matter if it's a win, a loss, or a break even, you immediately take a screenshot of the trade and paste it in a trading journal for you guys to evaluate your data analytics after finishing your backtesting sessions. That way, you're going to be able to evaluate your performance, and that's going to be a next step. That is going to be refine your strategy. So after a minimum of 200 trades, then you're going to evaluate your data analytics. You're going to say, okay, Esteban, let's see. This or whatever I was doing is profitable. Do I have profitable returns? Do I have an edge in the markets based on 200 trades? If the answer is yes, then keep doing the same thing over and over again, and maybe test 200 trades more, 300 trades more, or even 400 or whatever you want to see if your data is still profitable. If after the 200 trades you don't have a profitable data, and by the way, how do you guys know if you have profitable data? In my opinion, based on two factors. The max drawdown, in my opinion, I just prefer to keep the max drawdown not too high, because at the end, if you're pursuing investors' capital, it's important for you guys to not have, for example, a 50% max drawdown, because that's not too appealing for investors. So that's first thing, like number one. And number two, understand your risk reward compared to your win rate. So in my case, my risk reward, I have a fixed risk reward, which is 1 to 3. So by understanding my risk reward, I understand that my win rate to be profitable needs to be over 26%. So if I have a 27% win rate, then I'm profitable. And if my data says that I have a 27% win rate, then I have a profitable data over time. So that's when I'm gonna test more trades without changing anything and see if that 27% maybe goes a little bit higher, or it maybe goes in a profitable data or in a profitable level, right? So after you do that, after you have 200 trades and you realize that, for example, you have good data and you kept executing and you kept gathering data, then you're good. But if you don't have like a good data after 200 trades, you're gonna evaluate the screenshots of your setups on your trading journal. You're gonna literally see, okay, this setup was a loss, why was a loss, and you're gonna start evaluating and finding probably repetitive patterns you were doing on your losses, seeing if there's something you can improve on, and you're gonna start focusing, and your most focus is gonna be on refining your edge. You're not gonna jump into a different strategy, you're not gonna jump into a different mentor, and you're not gonna assume immediately that the strategy doesn't work just because after 200 trades you didn't have good results. What you're gonna do is understand that you can get better. You just need to refine your strategy a little bit more, because if someone else is making money with that same strategy, you can also do it. It's not because the strategy doesn't work, it's because you're new to the strategy and you just need to refine it. After you refine it and you come back and test it and test 200 trades again, and you start having good results and you start gathering more and more data, and you still have good and profitable results and good data, then it's time to start trading. You're gonna start trading a demo account, guys. Very important to mention this. Do not buy Profit Challenges. Do not trade personal capital yet. It's time for you guys to trade a couple of months demo account. And I know this is not the beautiful thing, or this is literally a very slow way of getting to a profitable stage or to a consistent stage. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't approach trading this way. I immediately wanted to buy Profit Challenges. I immediately wanted to put money into it and start trading my real funds, and I lost. I lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of Profit Challenges. I lost a lot of personal capital because I didn't follow and I didn't did this specific step. And this is extremely important for you guys to listen. And I know a lot of you guys who are listening are not gonna do this, and you probably prefer to lose your money in the process. But if you don't, like, if you're not interested in losing that much money, I recommend to trade demo account and do what I'm gonna say in a sec, which is trading a demo account instead of trading live account at first. You can literally trade demo account for 2, 3, 4 months. And the idea is for you to understand real market conditions, because one thing in this side is trading like backtesting, so going back in time and trading literally in Forex Replay, where there is no spread, there's no slippage, there's no emotional side. Like there is, but in a very minimum aspect. But whenever you jump into the real markets and you start trading with money and you start seeing the fluctuations of money, then it's where emotion kicks in. And that's why you need to get used to trading that way. And for example, in my case, it's kind of different, like to trade in the 4-hour or swing trading, for example, on a demo, on backtesting rather than live trading, because in backtesting, I don't have variables such as slippage or spread or swaps and those type of variables. But in real markets, I do. So that's really important for you guys to gain a lot of experience in real markets first, and how you do it without risking your own money by trading demo. After you find consistency in demo, then it's time to start trading real. How you can do it? You can invest in Profit Challenges. So you can invest, for example, in a couple of 10K accounts, or you can start also your personal capital. I know traders that prefer trading their personal capital. I know traders that prefer trading prop firms, and I know traders that prefer trading both, like me. And if you're pursuing the path of prop firm challenges, I recommend not to get a 100K account, for example, so get just one big account. I recommend that if you have the money to buy one 100K account, you can get 5 20K accounts, for example, or you can get, let's say, a couple of 25K accounts. Because at the end, if you want to actually pursue the profit path, in my opinion, you need to scale fast and you need to be aggressive. And how you're aggressive? By risking a lot. And if you risk a lot, 100K account, and you blow that account in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks, then you're going to be extremely frustrated and that money is going to go really fast outside of your pockets. But if you invest in a couple of profit challenges, for example, 4 25K accounts, right? And then you blow that, you blow those challenges, you're not going to feel bad. It's really, really hard for you to blow the 4 challenges or 5 challenges in a row if you actually have profitable data, if you actually know what you're doing. So let's say, for example, in 4 challenges, you can blow 3 but pass 1, or you can blow 2 and pass 2. So that's why I recommend to get a couple of profit challenges instead of just one big challenge. And if you're trading personal capital, I recommend to get like a good broker, a very known broker, and you put your money in and you start trading with whatever risk you want that you feel comfortable, and you start building your track record. In my opinion, the best thing is to do both. You can do profit challenge, that way you can scale your capital faster, and on the side, you take the same trades you do on your profits, but you take them on your personal capital, on your personal account, and you build that track record. And whatever you make on your profits, you withdraw that money and you put it in your personal. And that's whatever I do. That's what I recommend doing. And that's what a lot of traders do as well. And last but not least is usually the boring part, but at the same time, the most important part for you to scale and get to a new, like a very top level in trading and be able to access and have the opportunity to get investors' capital is keep executing the same strategy all over again and focusing on consistency. And this is what most traders that are actually successful have a hard time on, because it gets boring. And imagine if I'm literally 6 months into achieving consistent results and it starts to get a little bit boring because it's literally having the same setups and the same routine every single day. Imagine in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, taking every day the same setup all over again. So of course it gets boring, but that's the reality of trading. It doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need to be the most beautiful thing. But by making it boring, you can make a lot of money. And those are just straight up facts. But you need to be able to execute the same strategy consistently. And that's the last step, which I'm working on right now. Keep executing my same strategy. And if you guys are in this stage, it's extremely mandatory for you guys to concentrate on consistent results rather than just big results 1 month and the other month blowing the account. So that was the video for today. I hope you guys like this step-by-step guide. I expect it was not confusing. I think honestly it was very straight to the point. And as always, if you guys like these videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up. And guys, let's start building realistic expectations in the market. Let's start trading this like a real business, and let's become professional traders instead of outside gurus that just sell courses. So that was all for this video, guys, and see you in the next one. Take care.